Hello and welcome to the Ithaca College Women's Volleyball Trimester here at Fenlight Gymnasium. I'm one of your hosts, Jack Dunphy.
I'm Julia Guest.
And I'm Dylan Delaney.
We're here waiting for the start of the 4 p.m. match versus Ithaca College Bombers and the NYU Violets. So the NYU Violets and Ithaca Bombers haven't seen each other since September 28th. What do the stats look like for that match?
Yes, Ithaca dominated on September 28th, winning 3-1 against NYU. Almost nail-biters all the way through the fourth set.
All right, so tonight then NYU's probably coming for some revenge, maybe?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're going to have a little fire under them.
I know, especially before where we saw NYU play SUNY Brockport and then Ithaca also dominate against SUNY Brockport. So with those two victories, we're going to be seeing who's ultimately the winner today.
Definitely.
Yes. All right. And earlier we had an interview with Jenny Pitts, one of the volleyball team members here. Let's take a look at that interview.
During today's game, the Ithaca College volleyball team has been...
They're doing the package right now. Yes, it's going right now. We apologize for the audio issues right now. We're just having, you know, the gym's pretty chaotic, as you can see, balls flying everywhere, so we're pulling together. But we'll continue. We'll have an interview for you guys probably on a website that you can check out as well later as a link. But let's continue going on with the show.
Yeah, so for sure. So the Ithaca College volleyball team has been fundraising for the SPCA of Tompkins County, which has the mission to protect companion animals. So tonight's match is ultimately to gear all those fundraising efforts together.
Yeah, definitely. And if you guys donate, it will be a great way for everyone to get involved in the raffle to get some new Ithaca merch.
Oh, so I heard Ithaca volleyball merch, and if you donate, you get to go into the raffle, so you know who's donating right after this show. Definitely me. To learn more about the SPCA, you can check them out online, spca.org. And if you want to donate and get into that raffle for some of that Ithaca College merch to twin with me and the team, then you can check that out in the description box below.
Now, as the time gets closer to the first set, let's spend some time meeting our home team, the Ithaca Bombers.
All right, so let's look at some of the stats on the roster from our past games with NYU and Ithaca College. What key players stick out on the NYU roster tonight?
So NYU, we have seen Haley Holtz, number 9, continue to be a leader in stats for kills. So tonight, I believe we'll see her out on the court and making those vast attacks.
What number is she?
She's number 9.
Number 9. So look out for number 9 in NYU.
Sure.
Exactly. And then what are we seeing over here on the Ithaca College stats?
So sophomore Jamie Koopman has had 172 kills so far, and then senior Jalen, who's the outside hitter, has had 182 kills.
All right. So we got some powerhouses in the front row as well. And then we also have, of course, our setter Peyton, who's killing it with assists, around 457 assists. All right, so we're going to actually have the chance to meet them more in detail right now in a little interview that we set up. So let's roll to that. that's just a look at some of our players on the team today. Last matchup. You weren't here for this, but Jack and I were, and we watched SUNY Brockport versus the Ithaca Bombers. What were your key takeaways?
Okay, so that
it was a riveting game.
Yeah, that game was very tense, very high stakes, I felt like, at least.
Oh, yeah.
So the second set, we saw Ithaca Bombers come back from a remarkable 19-24, and they ultimately stole the set 26-24 from Brockport.
Yeah.
And that just propelled them.
I
It
think-
became their momentum, and we were ready to go.
Yeah.
So,
I think Jenny Pitts really stood out to me in that set. The middle hits, just getting those balls into the ground and really getting some points for the Bombers.
It sounds like they had a great, strong mentality to come back. Because I know that's really difficult, especially when you're behind.
Yeah. So we'll definitely see some of that grit, I think, tonight here on the court versus both teams.
Yes, and the Bombers and the NYU last played each other on September 28th, with the Bombers winning. How do we think we're going to see them play today?
Again, like I said, I think that the Bombers are going to show some really good grit tonight. They're going to have to, because watching NYU's match versus SUNY Brockport, NYU has some really strong blockers, and if Ithaca wants to get to those points, they've got to work on their offense and really get the ball past the blockers. And I'm super excited for tonight. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. So
We got it. I believe in the Bombers. I believe in us.
well, the game is starting here in just a few minutes, so we're going to go upstairs and get into our box. And any final predictions before we head out?
I think Ithaca's got it in the bag.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair,
All
that's fair.
right.
Personally, I don't know. We'll see. It's been a hot minute since we looked at NYU, but I think the Bombers got it.
All right, well, go Bombs and good luck NYU.
Taylor Odom. Number 21, Ella Ryder. And their libero is number 24, Lindsay Urano. The Violet's head coach in his fourth season is Andrew Brown. And now let's meet the non-starters for Ithaca College. Number 1, Grace Isaacson. Number 3, Jamie Koopman. Number 4, Allison Lipton. Number 5, Cameron O'Leary. Number 6, Ellie Gaskill. Number 7, Josie Hampton. Number 9, Sandy Clem. Number 14, Laura Severance. Number 17, Alex Montgomery. And number 23, Faith Sabatier. Now let's meet the starting lineup. An outside hitter from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Number 8, Jalen Hirschberger. First-year center from Petoskey, Michigan. Number 10, Hayden Miller. Our middle blocker from Spring, Texas. Number 12, Aleka Dungo. Our middle hitter from McMurray, Pennsylvania. Number 15, Jennifer Pitts. A defensive specialist from Ossining, New York. Number 18, Julia Costa. A middle from Cleveland, Tennessee, number 20, Paris Buckner. And the libero from Hilo, Hawaii, number 2, Jordan Lynn Hayashi. Head coach for the 6th season is Johan Golfer. He's assisted by Jennifer Buckman, Sarah Stillwell, and Sarah Jennison. Fans, we have free donations made this afternoon for the Tompkins County SPCA, where they will be entered into a raffle for an IC volleyball sweatshirt. We'll be giving away 3 of them this afternoon. If you make a donation, go to the Ithaca College volleyball page or scan the QR code on the flyers around the gym.
Game versus SUNY Brockport. They love their top spin. They love their top spin jump serve. And that's something that in women's volleyball is not very common. Typically you want to do a float serve, but they have bullet top spin serves. And if you have a good top spin serve,
you're golden.
Then it can really benefit you in the long run. All right.
So right now the score is 1-2 with NYU Violets leading. And we just saw an amazing dump by Sutter.
It says sets. This is the first set.
And unfortunately, just like the game against SUNY Brockport,
Static. Static. All I hear is static.
They still only hear static.
It sounds like a dead nut.
The color commentary can only hear static. They only ever hear static.
No, the graphic is very, apparently like cassettes, numbers come up right there.
Oh, that's confusing. But okay. All right. So, just a score recap right now. NYU has 4 points, and Ithaca College has 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any predictions for this game? I know we talked about it in the pregame, but for the people just joining, what are we thinking?
So right now, I feel like the Bombers have been struggling with their defense, just like the first set when they were playing SUNY Brockport. So we have just seen some kills offensively and that momentum starting to build, but overall their defense has been lacking. So
Yeah.
I think the first set might not be taken by the Bombers, but future sets will be.
I agree.
How about you, Julia?
Well, I watched NYU versus Brockport, and I honestly was impressed by NYU's blocking. They really get the block set up and just ready for that kill. So Ithaca's going to definitely have to move their ball around and get those angles to get around the block because NYU's ready for that.
It'll be interesting to see all the events that take place on the court this afternoon.
I agree. We're seeing some out-of-system plays, and what Ithaca tends to do is send that free ball, which we'll see what NYU does with it, because I know SUNY Brockport used that to their advantage earlier today. Whenever they got a free ball, they were ready for that, and they took that and used that to get a point. All right.
An amazing save there by number 18.
Another good save. They really hustle. I mean, these girls, this level, you don't let anything drop. Nothing. You go full out for everything. And NYU's setter tries to trick the Bombers, but it is unsuccessful.
In all honesty, that's one of Ithaca's better qualities. Their hustle, their ability to maneuver and get to where the ball is. But then again, I feel like that only happens when it's a single-handed person.
Right.
When there's numerous people standing in a circle, that's when the communication starts to lack.
Yeah. And I would agree that things that fall into that little hole in the center, Ithaca's very good about getting those up.
That's the golden zone.
Yes.
Right.
And there's always a teammate that's just there. I'm like, wow, how did you even get there? And they're right under the ball.
It's definitely something they train for in practices.
Yes, 100%. And that's their setter, Laura, who
by NYU Silvera.
looks like we got a double call for the setter over here. Which, if you guys didn't know, setters, it's a nightmare. I mean, you can talk about it because you're a setter, so.
Yeah, I know. Running to get, always being flexible. That's the most important thing as a setter. Being flexible with the play, making sure you're in the know of everything that's happening on the court, and then also communicating with your teammates. Making sure your teammates are comfortable with what's happening, and just making them aware of what's going on with the ball.
I agree. Just get a little replay there of NYU's net hits. When those things come up there as a middle, now it's my turn to talk, as a middle, when it's right up at that net and you're 6 feet tall and you are like, nope, see ya. So those for any middle are just heaven, like serving me a cupcake at the net. It's amazing.
Not gonna lie, Julia, middles intimidate me.
Oh, I know.
They're the scariest people on the court.
Job. That's their job. If you have an intimidating middle, I mean, like walking on that court, if you see that middle is hitting, like Jenny Pitts tonight, she's been killing it all day.
On fire,
all day. This morning, she was swinging hard and getting those kills for the Bombers and helping them get out of tough spots and keeping
Her
their
and
server
Caitlin Miller
protected.
ultimately allowed them to win the second set this afternoon. Which
And
is
look
just
at that.
remarkable.
There's Jenny Pitts
Yeah.
right there. Again, like I said, if you have a strong middle who's going to block and is going to swing, that's intimidating. And that's something that, you know, a middle blocker's everywhere. So there's not much NYU can do if you have a really good middle. It's you just have to dig really. Here she goes.
There goes Jenny Pitts.
Again, she is on fire today. I'm telling you.
She's on top of the world right now.
Yes, number 15, Jenny Pitts, right there. Look at her celebration.
She woke up and she was just ready to play.
Oh, yes. All right, Peyton Miller with a serve. Tight on the net. Okay. Okay, number 13. Wait, was that 13? What number was that? Yes. Number 13 on NYU side, showing that they have a good middle too, because, you know, they want to get that kill. Number 15 is Lizzie Kemp, their middle for NYU. We'll keep an eye on her tonight as well. All right.
Yeah, and right now the score is 11-9 with the Bombers in the lead.
Another nice kill by NYU. Oh, and number 7 getting that victory dance and feeling it. Okay. That's a nice replay there for you. Number 21 on the outside. Right side. My bad.
Yep.
It's a hard angle that we're at.
To close the block right there.
Good passing. That's out. Those slides, again, as a middle.
I know.
They're a difficult angle, and, you know, in a slide, you just have to go for it. And if it's not the right contact, it's not the right contact.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, those are one of those plays that if you can get them, they're really good. But if you can't, there's not much you can do to save it. All right, we got a score of 11-11. Our graphic seems to be a little incorrect here. Oh, there we go. Well, just to keep you guys updated, it is 11-11 now. Oh,
some controversy, excuse me, on the court.
And it looks like there's a replay. A little confusion between the refs, and both teams looked confused. So it will be a replay. 11-11 again. Here's a little replay for you of what just happened in case we missed it. And a block. 20 and 21 for NYU. 21 being Emma Willingham, and 20 is
Taylor Odom.
Taylor Odom, thank you.
Yep.
Couldn't find the number fast enough. All right. Oh, man, and another block again.
A perfect set, a perfect attack, but they just couldn't maneuver it
like I said
over the
like
block.
I said earlier, NYU's blockers are incredible, and as I was watching them against SUNY Brockport, they had that block there, and that block was strong. The block was strong. That's an ace right there for number 13.
We've come to see number 21, Ella Wider, out on the court, this afternoon, playing her heart out. So she's one of the Bombers' biggest competitors in this moment.
Mm-hmm. I would also say right now, with the amount of blocks we've got, that getting around number 21. Oh,
21,
yes.
yeah.
And then also, just in general, those blockers right now. I mean, I noticed it as soon as I watched SUNY Brockport. I was like, Ithaca's going to have to not just swing hard, but swing strategically, because those blockers are there, and we saw
get around them is...
Yeah, we saw earlier that Ithaca's blockers aren't as strong as they usually are in other seasons. They're there, they're just not having their hands as strong as NYU is showing us right now. Is if you have a good wall,
you're done.
You're done. So let's see if Ithaca.
They're gonna need to either tip, dink, fake.
Yeah, they gotta adjust right now.
Yeah.
And figure out as a team what's working and what isn't. It is really early in the set, in the game in general, so we'll see if Ithaca can figure that out.
For sure.
So number 13 is up to serve right now.
And what an attack.
Nice.
What an attack from
What
middle
an
hitter.
attack. Oh my God, Jenny
You
Pitts.
say it.
Jenny Pitts.
Jenny Pitts.
She's
She's
killing
been
it.
the queen of the court
If you're
this
listening
afternoon.
to this, Jenny, after this game, you are killing it today. All right. Big outside hit, but it is out. I haven't seen a lot of errors for NYU right now, so it's interesting to see them hitting. All right, a little replay for you on the outside hit. Looks like there's a call. Unfortunately for me, this ref is calling things really weird. I don't know I don't know what her hand signals are. They just are a little different for me, so I'm not exactly sure what that call was for. I'm assuming a carry.
A carry, yeah.
But again,
Beautiful set by Peyton Miller.
there we go, number 5, Cameron O'Leary, just killing it. She is a powerhouse. She's been a powerhouse this season. Here she is again.
Beautiful attack.
Right there. Right there.
Unable to be janked by NYU's libero. So as we mentioned before in our predictions, this is going to be a really close game today.
Yes, I agree. Both teams, I mean, I watched the SUNY Brockport versus NYU, and they were running things. They were trying things. They were mixing it up. And Ithaca was challenging SUNY Brockport. I think they definitely had to try new things, and they had to work on hitting deep corners. My favorite thing. So, and Coach Johan Dolfer's there with his team, and hopefully he's having the same kind of conversation with them. It's just the blocks are there, and we need to move the ball, and we need to move it around, and we need to make them work and not be able to just stand there and block us. Head coach over here at NYU. All right, and the timeout's over. All right.
I know we're
Bombers
back.
up to serve.
15-14.
Jordan is up to serve. She has a really nice flat. Oh, wow. All right. Setter number 7 was not out to play today. Number 7, that's Nicole Dow. And I saw her try that a few times earlier, and it was not successful. But seeing it successful this time, it was pretty smooth. I'll give her that.
SUNY Brookport took advantage of all the defensive mistakes that
the Bombers had.
Yeah. And I've noticed NYU.
Paris is out on the court this match. She was not out for SUNY, the SUNY Brockport match.
Yeah.
And I talked about that earlier, and I think it's mainly because middles do a lot of work. I mean, we are across the court. We are moving fast, hitting balls that are super quick. So I think that it's a good choice for the coach to save some middles and just give them time to let their body just be ready for this match. And I think that's exactly what he did with Paris, and I think that's exactly why she just got another kill.
I know. And
All right,
there,
little replay for you
see
again.
how the team maneuvers.
And we can
to
see.
It up, but unfortunately, the defense was lacking.
Yeah,
in that
and
moment.
again, Ithaca giving them free balls. Unfortunately, even though they're trying to play some. They're trying to play some short to make them work, but I just don't think that they are.
What an attack, though.
Again.
By number 20. Paris.
Again, the middles. You get a
Paris
strong
Buckner,
middle out
number
there.
20.
You get
Had
those
an
points.
That was a slide, right? Yeah,
Yes,
where
that
she
was a
just
back
slid
slide.
over and went, Papa.
Yeah, that's a one slide, so it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Those are actually pretty difficult. You have to have a good connection with her setter. I mean, setter and hitter relationship is so important, especially with those tricky back sets. I mean, you
Yeah.
can talk about back setting. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
you can't
it's
exactly
definitely-
see either.
Exactly. You can't see. You just have to
Trust that.
figure it out.
Yeah.
You have to trust your teammate, work with them
And trust yourself.
repetitively.
That
Exactly.
you know where to put it.
You could tell that
Here
Harris
goes another-
and Laura,
okay.
senior setter Laura Severance obviously worked
Yeah.
on making that happen. What an attack again.
A little miscommunication in the back
Yeah.
row. It looks like two players going for the same ball. That was Jordan and Julia both
Yep.
diving for the ball, which is tough because it's like you both went for it, but
Yep.
unfortunately there was a little confusion.
And once again, we saw the coach saving these key players, the middle and right side,
Yes.
earlier this afternoon against a game against SUNY Brockport, excuse me. Yeah.
Oh.
And that key reason is NYU is the main competitor. And he wanted to save them for this special game, if you will.
Maybe, yeah. I
Yeah.
think also just, I mean, he still's got Jenny Pitts out there, but
Yep.
in general, these girls play every day. I mean, they lift, they constantly play. I mean, they had a game literally 2 days ago.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
So resting their bodies is just as important as winning the game. So I think the coach does a really good job of making
the
sure that his
balance.
players are safe and making sure that, you know, they don't destroy their health or their bodies by playing every game. As much as an athlete wants to play every game, it may not be the best choice for them. And so it's a job of the coach to
Oh,
make
for
sure
sure.
that they're safe. And I think he does a good job of that.
For sure.
get
Especially
a
like
little-
taking time out to like eat
Yeah,
and stuff, you know.
exactly.
Midday
Let's
brunch.
get a little score check.
Oh yeah.
What are we thinking?
19s. I don't know.
I don't know.
This is it. This is it, Julia.
I
It's
know.
gonna make or break the team,
This
whatever
is
happens
tight.
next.
Here we go. Oh, that was a good try by number 8 on the outside. Trying to get a tip into the deep corner, which again, you don't even have to hit in the deep corner. You can just tip it, and it would have, if that was in, it would have been a for sure point for the Bombers. All right, NYU number 7 up to serve. Oh, that's one of those tough moments when the ball hits the tape of the net and just falls over. And unfortunately, this game is not like tennis. There is no redo for hitting the tape. That's just how it is, unfortunately. All right, and oh my God, Jenny Pitts.
Not Jenny Pitts.
It's just
When in doubt, you can always see her smiling out on the court.
literally her and Laura Severance. I mean, their connection right now is killing. They're doing amazing. Laura is setting those perfect ones right now, and Jenny is just eating them up. She's just feeding the
And
floor
right here is
now.
the key rotation. Oh,
Almost.
that was the key
almost.
rotation with Peyton Miller serving, and then Jenny Pitts right in
Yeah.
the middle.
Love to see it.
And right now we have serving number 9, Kaylee Holtz,
Oh, look at
who
that
is
serve.
a leader in service aces for NYU.
Well, I can see why. She just did a top spin
Yeah.
jump, which, again,
know.
like I said earlier, is kind of rare in women's volleyball. You don't see it as much as a jump float or standing float. Just a score check for you guys. 22 for NYU, 21 for the Bombers. Bombers serving now. Can we get a serving run? Oof.
Oh,
You can see her wrist snap when she does that, number 21. Number 21, Ella. She snaps her wrist so well. It goes straight down.
yeah.
I did notice that when she was hitting.
I know she's
So-
the second leader for kills, right under
Oh,
Haley
yeah.
Holtz.
And
Them
you can
two are
see
the
why.
dream team, obviously, yeah.
again, those blocks, they're there. Their hands are just, the ball's getting caught up in their hands right now.
And just a quick score check, it's 24-21 with NYU in the lead.
One more point and NYU will take home the first set.
No. And the Bombers got the point.
That's a
so
stop.
This is the make or break right here, I believe. Where I believe the Bombers could come back. I'm very confident they could. We saw it earlier.
Yeah, we saw this earlier.
Yeah.
SUNY Brockport, they came back. SUNY Brockport had 24 and they had 19. And that's going to be a no.
And just like that, we saw a service error giving NYU the final point.
Yes, that always sucks when that happens. And sometimes it's not even the pressure of the point. It's just the toss is off or the contact's off. Yeah. Anything like that could be a factor.
It was a very close set, though, I have to say.
Yes, 25-22.
The Bombers struggle with the first set typically.
Typically, yes.
So I'm excited to see they use it as like a maneuvering gearing point, a learning point, where they could reference, pick up on how the other team plays, and then react in the second set. So I'm excited to see what they take away and then ultimately add to their gameplay in the second set.
I think they also like having a little bit of pressure on them.
Oh, yeah.
I think that this set right here is going to give them a little bit of a push to be like, okay, one set down. We need to really kick it into gear now. And I think that what you said is true. They did that in the second set. And let's take a look at the little huddles going on. Number 5, Cameron, it looks like leading the pack right now, giving some advice to her teammates. It's all about lifting each other up and just helping each other get back. And from the look on her face, I'm pretty sure she's confident that they need to just take it in the second set like they did before. And
then going back to the game back in September when Ithaca played NYU, we saw Ithaca lose just by 2 in the first set, so not far off. So I'm
pretty
hoping,
similar.
I'm hoping that Ithaca will pull through in the second set, and then beat them in 4. Theoretically, that would be nice. That would be nice.
And over at NYU's huddle now. Oh, back to head coach Johan Dulfer. This is his 6th season coaching the Bombers. He has had experience coaching all across the world, actually, before coming back here to Ithaca. But this is his 6th season, so he's definitely got a ton of coaching experience. He also coaches the summer camp that I went to, and it's pretty amazing. The advice and the tips and the coaching that he gives his players can help you improve so quickly. So
that's amazing.
I can't imagine what's going on in that huddle. I wish I could be there getting some.
Me too.
Like hearing the inspirational quotes going into my exam.
Put the microphone in right there, and just get some voice memos.
Get some of that inspiration and some of that you guys need to get down right now. Like that's what I imagine saying right now.
I'm confident he will be able to bring the team together for the second set, and they'll be able to pull through as
I agree. We asked some of the players earlier what they thought of volleyball, and just being together was really heavily talked about by them, and just being a family, playing every day, like I said. I mean, these girls are in this gym working hard. I have club volleyball right after them, so they're always so when they're taking down their net, we're putting up ours. So they're constantly working, and I got the opportunity to take some video footage of them in practice, and just and watching them practice is really fun. They have a lot of fun together because they play against each other.
I know.
And so it's always like competitive, but like in a fun spirited way. So it's really fun to watch.
Even like having that key group of people to go to, to discuss volleyball and the sport, and having supporters in your corner.
Friends.
Exactly, that's something nice to stand by.
Here's number 7, Nicole Dial, serving for NYU. A nice serve. And we see here an example of middle setting. Unfortunately, is not a middle strong suit. Jenny Pitts gets called on a double for that.
Yep.
I have had that happen numerous occasions
Oh, yeah.
until I started training as a setter now. But
Yay.
back when, it was always my coach's nightmare when the ball would come to me and I'd be like, I got it, and the setter would be like, no. So
Yeah.
I can speak from experience that that's a tricky situation for a middle to be in. But all right, number 7, Nicole Dio serving again, tight on the net. Peyton tries to get it out, but
She
touches
tried.
the net. Little score check for you guys. It is 3-0 with NYU Violets leading the charge right now. That's a good pass right there.
Beautiful set.
Oh,
attack
and who
right
is
there.
that? Who is that? Jenny Pitts.
Not Jenny Pitts.
It's Jenny Pitts
When
again.
in doubt.
When
in doubt.
When
it's
in
Jenny
doubt.
Pitts.
What
And just a
an
quick
MVP
replay.
tonight.
You see
What an MVP.
that attack ricochet across the gym.
Wow. Wow. I hope we get a replay of that.
And unfortunately, the
21.
Bombers struggled to push that block over the NYU Violets.
Yeah.
We've come to see the Violets throw those blocks up, have the ball land on the court, but unfortunately, the height is not there for the Bombers. The height and vertical.
There's a little stare down going on after that block. All right, big serve. In. That was a beautiful serve. That went right up and over,
right in the
up
corner.
and over the Bombers into that deep corner. And
I
you can
have to
see
say, Julia, the one thing about volleyball I love is the stare downs.
you know, as a middle blocker,
Yep.
that's our job, and it's
Yep.
so fun. It's
Honestly,
like,
you can't say it verbally, otherwise you'll get carded.
but when you block them and you stare at and you watch the ball hit the ground and you go,
scream. Like, hey, you're on top.
like, you
You're
guys can't see
Superman
me
in
right
that
now because
moment, in
obviously
all
I'm
honesty.
just color commentating, but I'm doing my stare down at Jack. Are you scared?
Watch out. I better watch out.
Better watch out. Yeah, that's right. He inched away,
Oh,
but
I have to say that's the amazing part about volleyball. And right now we saw the coach for the Bombers just pull aside Peyton Miller, number 10. Just saying, it's 1-6 with the NYU Violets leading. So the Bombers need to come back. Peyton is struggling to set up those sets.
there's a nice replay for you.
and we will
of
hopefully
21.
witness a new team
Yeah.
out on the court right after this timeout.
And the crowd out here is so refreshing.
I know.
It's so nice that people can finally come back out to live sports and sit in the audience. We are requiring masks still, but I mean, the atmosphere just changes. I know for me, being a senior playing with no audience,
Oh, wow.
it's hard because, you know, it's hard to get your energy back when it's dead silent in the gym,
Yeah.
and it's just your team. It's just your team that's
Cheering.
trying to bring up the energy, which works to a point because eventually if your team gets down, there's no one there. So it's really
yeah.
nice to see that the Bombers have a good squadron of Bomber fans in the stadium right now.
I know. And this crowd was much larger than what we saw earlier when
Oh, yeah.
Ithaca faced
I see a lot more
Brockport.
students in the section tonight.
Oh, yeah. Having it later in the day definitely helps too.
Oh, yes.
You know?
You know, everyone's taking their morning naps.
It's Halloween weekend. Halloween weekend, Julia. Any costumes?
I do. I'm Medusa.
Medusa.
What are you?
I'm kind of like a beach tourist. You know how it goes.
Tourist. I
got
like
the bucket
it.
hat, but yeah, we
Vacation-
see an
vacation.
amazing block. I know, why not? Ah,
Ooh, that was a
an
middle's
amazing
dream.
dig though.
Yeah. A middle's dream, though, when that ball comes right up to that cusp of that
Yep.
net. But it's
Yeah.
amazing to me to watch the defense because in high school, if you did that, I mean, our defense was never like that. And so if a middle got one of those, like me, for example, there would be no one there. And
Oh,
you would
yeah.
just automatically get a kill.
Yep.
But here we see this high level of play where the defense won't even let that happen. They're there for that as well, getting those crazy crazy
We've
kills.
also seen a hustle like no other from the
Oh,
Bombers,
yeah.
running across court just to pass the ball to the next player.
Again, that block, it's just a soft block right now, which
Yep.
is good and bad. It's bad more than good at this
Oh,
point because, one, you're not getting a block, and two, it's changing the movement of the ball, and so your defense is standing there ready for the kill. And if the block touches it, it changes the direction, and the defense might not be able to get to that as easily.
For sure.
So at the same time, it could slow down a kill and help your defense get there, have more time to get there. So it really depends. It's better to just block it.
Yeah. But luckily, we're seeing the Bombers come back from that 6-1
Right.
Score prior.
And we got a middle in the back row right now. That's one of the. This is the rotation where there are two middles, and the libero is actually off, but she's coming back on right now. Jordan is back on now. Here's a little replay for you. That block by NYU. Like I said earlier, their blocking is impeccable.
Every time Jenny Pitts goes up, I always get a little rush in me.
Oh, me too, because she's going to bring the heat. Look at them, even NYU, hustling to get every ball, every opportunity, every chance.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a nice setup here. This is a good rally. Rallies are good. Okay, there we go.
The teams are playing their heart out right now.
And it's
unfortunately, we
tough.
see NYU take the point.
Yes,
Yeah.
NYU. That's a big point for NYU right there. A long rally that ends with a point is always a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another replay for you of the end
like
of that point.
Oh, look at Jenny Pitts.
Woo, right down the line right there.
Jenny
for him.
Pitts just
Jenny
tosses
Pitts.
it right down to the one spot.
Sorry, I was too focused on the replay.
Oh.
What did I miss?
Jenny Pitts just dinked it right to the one spot deep corner. Got the kill.
Nice. I wonder what her average is going to be at the end of this game. It's going to be interesting to
imagine.
see Jenny Pitts' kill count after this game. Here's Aleka going for a right side hit.
Julia, do you know what year Jenny Pitts is?
Jenny is, I believe she's a senior. I think maybe she's a junior. Hold up. Let's check. Jenny, where are you? It does not say on my sheet. I'm not sure.
Oh, no worries. I'm looking it up right
We're looking it up for you all.
So, Jenny Pitts is a junior.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. McMurray,
Pennsylvania. So not too far. Not too far.
It'll be interesting to see her progress.
Right. Yeah.
And then next year's going to be her prime year, you know?
Yep.
So we're
Senior
gonna see
year.
her on the court, more than she.
Yeah. I'm looking at team statistics now while we're taking a short little timeout. Just the kills for NYU is 853, looks like, for, let's see here. I think that's in general. Not quite sure, actually.
And then next year, I believe we're going to see Julia become a libero possibly for the team. I'm not sure.
Either. She is a defense specialist, so maybe she will. Or we might see a freshman libero come up.
That's a good
We got to meet our freshmen next year. Yeah. The recruitment process has been such a crazy year for COVID. I mean, with most D1 schools not even accepting any new recruits because majority of D1, they really want to see the players play. They don't want to watch the video. Something special about Ithaca is Coach Johan Dulfer, he looks at video. And so that's one of the great things about our team this year, I think is really strong, is that even during COVID, he was able to recruit new players because he was able to watch their video feed from previous games and current games where D1s and D2 schools had trouble because tournaments were closed and club sports were not happening. So,
especially having players come out to their
yeah,
campus, feeling energy, see them in action.
Right. Wow, Jenny Pitts just stopped that ball twice. Out. Oh, there's a touch.
On top of the world today.
It really is. She really is. All right, here comes the serve from NYU libero. Nice jump float. Tries to trick. Yeah, I definitely agree that that was a carry right there. Oh, that was a crazy middle attack right there. Straight down into the ground. Let's get a little replay right here. Yep, that is no stopping that. Number 13 just put that ball into the ground. 13, Abby Osmus.
Beautiful set.
A block again.
Reaction to the play. But NYU easy that.
There was no block up on that hit right there.
Oh, we see a beautiful hustle by two teammates, but they ultimately got into each other.
13 again.
Yeah.
13 for NYU.
NYU's offense today has been on fire.
Yes, Abby Osmus leading the charge in the front row, showing that Jenny Pitts isn't the only middle on the court tonight. You know?
Yeah.
13, she's out there, and she wants to show that she's just as a powerhouse.
Unfortunately, we begin to see the dynamic shift this set with the Bombers being reactionary,
yes,
playing defensively. And then on the opposite side, we begin to see NYU score and take that offensive approach to the play.
Okay, let's see if NYU can, let's see if Ithaca can use this to their advantage. Here's a little replay for you. Outside hitter Cameron, number 5, swinging right into the ground.
Yep. A beautiful serve on the court.
Right back at them. Oh, but they keep it up. They kept that up.
The hustle today is remarkable.
The hustle all across the gym.
An amazing play, but the block is no match.
Anyway, sorry about that little technicality there. All right. Oh my God, what an amazing dig by Jordan. Cameron is continuing to just hit that ball. It looked a little bit like a carry from my angle, but we can saw the ref shake her head. No, it was not a carry. Look, you can even see NYU's a little upset about that not being called. Yep, NYU's talking to the ref.
Trying to figure out the play. Look, we see him in the replay opening up his hands like, what's going on?
Why wasn't that a call?
But right now, this is the point where the Bombers begin to gain back their momentum.
And it looks like the Bombers didn't sneak away from this call. It was in the net for this one. So that's a point for NYU.
Number 9, Healy holds his back at it.
Serving up. Beautiful serve. Such a powerful serve, man.
For the team and service aces. And we can obviously see why.
Listening to that ball just hit their platforms when they're passing, it's insane. I mean, it sounds like a bullet. No, you gotta.
An amazing hit right there.
Whoa.
I know. It'll be.
Winners of set number 2, NYU 25-14, 82 games.
Yeah, we saw the ball just drop right in front of them. Yeah. I know.
He's definitely got some time and experience under his belt. He's done a lot of coaching for other teams. So he
I
definitely
know.
brings a lot of experience, a lot of really good coaching skills to the table.
Yeah, the Bombers will definitely need to come up with a new strategy in order for the NYU Violets to not win the next set and ultimately secure the match.
The Bombers have to come through with 3 more sets in order to win the game tonight.
It'll be interesting, yeah. Right there, we see the NYU coach sit down very confidently in the fact the NYU Violets will win this next set, but ultimately, the Bombers are up creating.
Yeah, the last score was 25 NYU, 14 for keep setting Jenny Fitz, for sure, and just moving the ball around. Just another recap.
Yeah.
In the last set, and NYU now has 2 set wins under their belts. They get 1 more
Yeah.
in the match, and the Bombers
I know.
in this match.
Right there, we saw the coach talking with his fellow, I was going to say teammates, but they're not his teammates. His players. There we go, Julia. But he was drawing out a little diagram for the new strategy he has for the Bombers to take place. What do you think?
Definitely seen a draft drawn like that before, but
Yep.
it's called open corners.
Oh,
It's called.
I know. Have you seen that, Libero?
He's definitely drawing their
Yep.
defense and showing them where the hooks are. Because right now, I think it's like, I mean, everything's pretty close.
Yeah. Because right now, NYU's Libero is playing in the center of the court. So we'll begin to see this new strategy take form.
Ithaca is definitely keeping up defensively, watching their spots, hustling to every ball. But NYU's got better defense. I mean, Ithaca's swinging, but NYU's just right there. If you're there, you can get the ball up. It doesn't
Exactly.
matter if the ball goes to the center, if the ball's up at this level of play.
Yeah, hopefully we see that defense take form and those reactions pave way in this next set. Otherwise, the Bombers are done, and NYU will get their revenge that they were yearning for. Yeah. I know, and it's a far drive to NYU from Ithaca. Personally, I drive by New York City on my way home to Connecticut, and it's a long trip.
All right, and we're heading back down into the third set.
Is there stuff for hats on my face? I don't know. Dylan, Julia, Jack. I was
Love that. Love how we're just doing this on the fly. All right. And NYU with the first point for this set. They're ready to take this home. They got a long drive, so I'm sure they're ready to just get this done and get home and get to bed.
I would be that way too. I'm not gonna lie, because that's a long drive. I believe it's around 3 hours back to NYU.
Who is that? Who is that right there?
Not Jenny Pitt.
Jenny
Here, Julia.
Oh my God, she's killing it
You see
today.
that?
Number
You're, like,
15.
right on the screen over there.
Wow. Powerhouse. I mean, that ball is moving so fast.
I know.
They ain't got a chance. They ain't got a chance.
There's no time to react at all.
Ooh, a little tricky roll.
I know. Freshman setter Peyton Miller was just unable to get there, unable to pick that dig up.
I mean, that roll moved in such a weird way. She twisted her hand to give it kind of a spin, so it landed right in the line.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing as a setter, because you're responsible for covering so much of the court, and then you're also responsible for getting ready for the next play. So sometimes, personally, for me as well, it's hard to maneuver that play.
I totally agree. We've got a new outside hitter out. Faith Sabatier is back, number 23. And we've got a new right side out, 4, which is Ali. Which last name? Gotta find that. I got a lot of paperwork on our desk up here. Ali Ripton.
Big way. It's 2-2. Not too shabby so far. The team's beginning to set up in order to maneuver back into that groove that they were feeling earlier. An amazing pass right there. Amazing set, I should say, by freshman setter Peyton Miller. Unfortunately, NYU Violets take the point.
Yeah, their outside hitter is pretty strong when she swings that powerhouse. All right. A little right side set. We got a tip. I love the way our libero, Jordan, just kind of flies when she does, like, even overhand digs are just like, she just, yeah, the ball's power is, like, transferred into her. Like, she's like, woo, ricocheted back.
I hate to say it, but the team's definitely going to suffer next year without her.
I agree. I totally agree. It's important to have a good libero because that just supports your team. It makes your team feel more confident if they know they can trust the person behind you. I mean, as a middle, it's so in our DNA to want to reach back and get something that's short. But having a libero that you know, okay, if I go up to block this and it goes over me, that libero is going to be there, and I can trust that she's going to be under that ball. So that's so important in this game, is trusting your teammates and knowing that their skill is going to be able to help you win.
Yeah, the libero is the core of the defense. And we've come to see Jordan support her teammates in a remarkable way, like no other in that regard. Especially when your defense is struggling, it's important to have that key anchor where the libero is always there for you and you feel connected to them in a way that's forthcoming. And ultimately, we've seen that in Jordan.
I totally agree. A nice team huddle going on for both sides.
So right now we're seeing NYU's coach talk strategic into the players in order to ensure that they could go home with some time left in the night. So he's very confident in the fact they can secure this next set and ultimately take home the win.
I'm going to give it a little shout out to all the students working hard for this live stream. They've been working for weeks on this project, so they're bringing to you this stream on their Saturday. They're coming out here, setting up all the equipment, running everything from TD to production. All right, a wonderful block.
Honestly, that was the first block of the day that the Bombers really secured. It was beautiful.
That was a really strong block.
And right up here, we see senior setter Laura Severance up to serve. An amazing attack by NYU.
That one-handed set is one of Laura's many skills, I would say. Being able to do that really helps you keep the ball out of the net. Keep the ball up, able to play. Also, tricks your competitor. I mean, most of the time when a setter does that, you think, oh, they're going to tip it.
Yep.
And then they don't, and a middle or an outside comes flying through. Insane.
Yeah, you're always on the move, especially when that happens, because as a middle, right, Julia, you always are reactionary to those plays. You always want to be on top of it, be there.
100%.
And if you're a senior, you just want to get that kill, get that block, and get the point.
Totally agree.
So right now we see NYU number 25 up to serve. Amazing defense out on the court. Ultimately landing the kill. And right now the score is 9-4 with NYU leading.
The quick reactions of the back row are really quite impressive. You see them wait to see where the ball goes and then immediately charge forward and get their dig up.
An amazing dump by NYU, but the Bombers are able to
Bombers,
pick it out.
Bombers are ready for that one. It was a beautiful block, but it was out, unfortunately. It looked so nice, but it unfortunately did not stay in.
Unfortunately, there was a touch on that play, so NYU ultimately did receive the point. Hopefully, yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say we apologize for any audio issues. We're sharing one mic right now, unfortunately. So we're just letting you know that if we cut in and out, it's because we're trying to share it. So we're working that through. But until then, just keep listening for our voices, and they will hopefully be there. Here you go. Jack had something to say.
So right now we see for the Bombers, number 1 just served, and bam, from NYU. Not as powerful as they once were.
Another free ball over from the Bombers. Let's see what NYU does with it.
I know, it should be interesting, especially seeing the out-of-system rotation with the Bombers needing to secure this set. It's been a little iffy for them. What would you say, Julia, right?
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. I think right now with the score, 12 NYU, 5 home, they got some work to do, and they got to dig in, and they really need to get the ball around the block, get the ball down. They're keeping up defensively, they're keeping up offensively, but they're not getting further offensively. You know, they're just keeping up. They need to surpass NYU.
I know, the momentum, I feel like, isn't really all that there, as we saw earlier. The second set was insane against SUNY Brockport, but
hopefully we'll see something transpire out on the court within the coming points. Otherwise, unfortunately, the Bombers will falter against NYU.
And that is a carry by NYU, so Bombers get a chance here with some serves. Score check for you, 13-6 with the NYU Violets leading right now.
I know, we just saw Peyton Miller up to serve.
And we saw her in the last round running the charge with the serves, very consistent. And in the last game, she was the one that got that run for a really long time. That was able to secure them that second set, which I think changed the game entirely after the second set. So let's see if they can keep her up to serve.
I know, hopefully she doesn't feel that pressure is all on her right now.
Jenny Pitts with a beautiful block. Beautiful block right there. Let's see it. Here it goes. She is right there, and it is right down. Beautiful.
Her energy out on the court this afternoon has been unreal. And hopefully we'll see that transpire in these next coming points. And just like that, hey, another point for the Bombers.
That was an in-the-net call, probably on the block, I would assume, by the ref. She's very confident in that call, and I would agree. I saw that move. Oh, the coach is not happy about that, unfortunately. But, you know, it's those tough calls. That's why we have refs. They got to just make their call and be confident in it.
I know, right here, this is where the Bombers are beginning to gain their momentum. We see the Peyton-Jenny duo out on the court, and that ultimately is the most successful pairing in the Bombers, I would have to say. It's one of them, at least.
Yeah, they definitely bring the team together on the court.
They just connect in an unreal light, and ultimately that allows the team to gain as many points as they can whenever Peyton is up to serve. The Bombers right now are in a team huddle. We see the coach trying to lay out this new strategy for them to implement in order for them to lock down the third set and ultimately not lose the match.
Little update for you folks if you're tuning in. Right now, NYU has 2 sets on the Bombers, and they're leading this third set 13-10. The Bombers need to come through and get that to secure a win for Ithaca. Ithaca pride right there. And for you folks at home, the Ithaca Volleyball women's team right now, they are doing a fundraiser for the SPCA, and they wanted me to let you all know that you can get involved and donate. And the link in the bio below. If you donate, you are automatically entered into a raffle to win possibly some Ithaca Volleyball merch. Oh, we got a delay call. It's out. Hits the antenna. Our ref,
NYU coach and the down ref.
And it looked like the up ref was telling the coach that he needs to back off a little bit. There is an ability for the refs to penalize the coach. They call it out, but they give it to NYU.
I know, it's crazy to see that controversy spark out on the court, and then ultimately that up ref blowing her whistle saying, NYU, calm down.
And NYU gets another point with their nice block over there on the outside. That is not getting through that wall today. Oh, and the Bombers decided to try something different with a little tip thrown in there, which...
Who was it, Julia? Who was it? Let's hear it.
It was Jenny Pitts again. Wow, she's killing this game right now. I am very impressed. As a middle, I am fangirling over Jenny Pitts today. Faith trying to put it in that deep corner, but a little too out.
I know. It's interesting to see the new route the Bombers have been taking out on the court. They're kind of playing more defensively, but ultimately that's allowing them to get the kills they need to booster their score against NYU.
Again, we apologize for the audio issues that are occurring. We're trying our best, and we're working through it, and we will get through this game. So, don't worry. Another block by Jenny Pitts, of course. A monster in the front row. Should say a beast. Either way, it's spooky season, so I could say a monster or a beast in the front. And that would be true. It is now 17 for NYU and 12 for the Bombers. So we'll see how this plays out in this third set, because if NYU takes this third set home, that means they take the entire match. Good serve that went deeper than I think Faith had expected. Touch off the block. What are we thinking so far?
It's a crazy game right now, I'm not going to lie. So we will see how it plays out ultimately and see how the Bombers succeed in the final, who knows, maybe final set. I don't know. It's 12-18, so hopefully the Bombers secure this victory right now and get a set in. Yeah, what are your thoughts, Julia?
My thoughts are probably the same thing. I'm really hoping for the Bombers. I'm a Bomber at heart. Been a Bomber since I was 12 years old. I didn't go here when I was 12 years old, obviously, but I've always been a fan of the Bombers. I've been watching them since I was in middle school. They made me want to play volleyball. I started volleyball watching the Bombers play. So, you know, I'm always a Bomber at heart.
Hey, I love that.
Bomber at heart. Want them to win.
I know.
You know, NYU is the only other school I applied to besides Ithaca.
Wait, actually?
Actually, isn't that kind of funny? It's kind of
Wait.
ironic.
That's crazy.
Don't do that, kids. Always apply for extra things. It's just I
That's
knew
crazy.
I wanted to come to Ithaca so bad, so.
I'm not going to lie, I applied to over 20 schools. NYU is not one of them.
Dang.
Oh, wow, NYU. Okay, Julia, okay.
NYU is my second choice. I'm not even gonna lie.
It was the
Ithaca
safety.
my first. It was the safety.
Okay,
Honestly, I don't think I actually submitted the application.
Oh?
Because, like,
You
I
actually-
applied early action.
Yep.
NYU is running with some good serves right now. They got a few aces just now. And all the balls are going tight into the net. We got a little team huddle for an extra second. I think everyone's just trying to settle down.
I know.
Because this is our gym. This is our
Exactly.
home. This is our game. So
Julia, I have to say, we were talking about this earlier, but it really shocked me here in NYU's Division 3.
I honestly did too. I thought NYU was like, you know, New York City
Yeah.
D1. I don't know. It was just kind of a fact I didn't know. I always thought NYU just like knew our coach and so wanted to come play. But oh gosh, it is game point for the game right now. NYU with 24 points. This is the game point right now.
2 sets.
Wow, they're getting some power out right now.
Unfortunately, this is
Unfortunately, NYU has secured their win against the Ithaca Bombers tonight. Our final score for you guys in the third set was 25-13, with the NYU securing threes. It's a sad day in the Ben Light Gym. Well, you know, they did win this morning, which was amazing. They beat SUNY Brockport. We got a win under our belts, but it does really suck, unfortunately. Anyway, we're going to head downstairs to go see the team. Thanks for tuning into this part, and stick with us as we talk to the team. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Right now? Oh, talk? Are they talking then? How are we doing this?
Oh. Entertainment director.
Guys, I can't solve all the problems.